We head to the home half of the second inning. Another inning coming up here for Owen Schartz, who was able to get out of some big trouble back in the first inning after he allowed Joey Weimer to come across the score. The Mariners had runners at second and third with only one away, but after striking out Mike Ludwig and getting a line out to right from Pat Winkle, the inning was over. So he'll face off against a new task here. It'll be Corey Acton from the University of Florida, here to make his his Cape Cod League debut. Acton steps in from the right side, the left-handed batter's box, and the first pitch that he sees is going to be a fastball up that'll miss for ball one.
Yeah, Acton, the left-hander out of Fort Lauderdale, playing for the Gators last year.
He will check here, and that will be in there for a strike to even up the count. Hitting .251 just a season ago, 6 home runs at the University of Florida in 2019. Add 30 RBIs to that, as this one is a fastball right in there, so Owen Schartz not afraid to attack him a little bit here. And he's fallen behind in the count 1-2.
Acton taken by Detroit in the 39th round in this year's draft.
This one will miss up to even the count at 2-2. Actually, I believe taken in 2018, but either way, taken by the Detroit Tigers relatively early on, as he'll swing through this one, and his first AB will be a strikeout. So, Corey Acton down on strikes. Hal Hughes will come to the dish. Hughes had an excellent outing just a day ago, an RBI single and a run scored as he came around and was hit by a pitch yesterday in the 6-0 shutout of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. So Hyannis, the first team in the league to 10 losses. They're 2-10-1 entering today. First pitch to Hughes, and that one's going to be called a strike on the outer half. Hughes falls behind 0-1.
Yeah, Hyannis looking to get a big win against Chatham later tonight. Game will start at 7 o'clock.
This one misses down in the zone. A lot of action going on in the Cape right now. Brewster heads to YD. Katuitt hosting Wareham. Bourne hosting Falmouth. And Hyannis, as you mentioned, going to Chatham. As this one is just going to be fair. Past the outstretched glove of Whitcomb at third. It's going to roll, and holding up at first base is Hal Hughes. So that ball hit just on the right side of the chalk there. The Void's hitting third base narrowly and skips into left field for a base knock to start the inning.
Some pretty solid contact from Hughes as he's really starting to figure himself out at the plate after a quiet first couple of games offensively with the Mariners, but that time hit a ball hard just past Whitcomb, the third baseman, and now once again the Mariners with a runner on first and one away.
So that brings to the dish Cam Thompson, who came into yesterday's game hitting 172. Thompson, another lefty in the lineup, and the first pitch he sees will miss high. We've seen that a time or two out of the righty on the bump in Owen Schartz. So Schartz will go back to work here. 1-0 count, runner on first, one away here in the home half of the second, and that one will miss high and outside. So it's a 2-0 count here on Cam Thompson. Cam, one of 3 guys on the roster out of the University of Kansas State, and the only one who was not transfer ineligible last year. A lot of guys moving out to Kansas State. That program is starting to pick up steam in the Big 12. Fastball will catch the zone low and away, and the count is 2-1.
And as we talked about yesterday, Thompson just playing all sorts of positions. He's over at second today. We've seen him play everywhere in the infield except first base, and everywhere it seemed like in the outfield.
Just missing a few positions before his tour around the pass is done, as he'll swing through that one and even the count at 2-2. And you gotta wonder if the pressure is on Cam Thompson right now, with a couple more guys coming in from the University of Texas Tech. Of course, Max Marshock and Dylan Noisy arriving here pretty soon, and then Bryce Bonnin afterwards. Runner goes. It's a good throw down to second base, and that is going to be no. They say he didn't get the tag on him in time, as that'll allow Hal Hughes to swipe second. And I'll tell you what, Colin, David Avila had him dead to rights, and I think the throw was down there too early, and Murray was unable to apply the tag.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the throw, I wouldn't even say it was early. I think the throw was there perfectly. I think Murray was just a little bit slow getting to second base, and he tried to spin around and make the tag, but Hughes sliding in safely with a stolen base.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, as Cam Thompson goes down on strikes, but now a runner in scoring position here for the Mariners, and the leadoff man is back up in Jacob Hurtubise. And I don't know if he was too slow because, as you mentioned, he had to kind of turn around and try to go back to make the play. I think he overran it. And, I mean, a weird set of circumstances there, but either way, it allows the Mariners to get a runner in scoring position with 2 outs as Jacob Hurtubise, who is 0 for 1 today, with a ground out to short, steps to the dish. Shart's back to work. Here comes the pitch, and that one will be fouled away.
Yeah, the other thing on that play with Murray is he didn't really get a chance to slow down. He was almost on the run when he caught that ball, so his momentum carried him past the bag, and he really couldn't stop on a dime and make that tag on Hughes. So just a catcher and his shortstop out of sync on that stolen base.
Hurtubise looking for his first hit in Cape Cod League action. I'll watch this one miss high and even the count at 1-1. So far, just 0 for 6. Did reach on a hit by pitch and was able to steal a base and come around to score. Sharts delivers the 1-1, squaring around the bunt, but then pulling it back and taking ball 2 is Jacob Hurtubise.
Yeah, that run back in the second game against Hyannis in the doubleheader on Sunday. One of only 2 runs scored by the Mariners.
So Hurtubise awaiting the 2-1, still looking for his first of the season. He will foul this one right back to us, and the count is now 2-2. So pop his helmet off and take a minute to adjust things. The ideal situation, of course, would be to get to Joey Wiemer, who stands on deck, and he's been just absolutely tearing through opposing pitching. So for Hurtubise, it's just going to have to be about finding a way on base, which is something he has done an excellent job of throughout the course of his career. An on-base percentage over 500 last year. He rakes this one into right, and that's going to get down. They are going to send the runner coming across. It's going to be close at the plate, and he is going to be out. So they're able to get Hal Hughes trying to come around to score. Another excellent throw from Zach Britton, and that will end the inning. The Mariners unable to come up with a run there, and we will head on to the third. Still 1-0 lead for Harwich, as that is a tough set of circumstances to deal with there. But when we come back, the score will stay the same. 1-0 Mariners. When we come back, you're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Radio Network. Welcome back to White House Field. Tyler Henry alongside Colin Casey. Back out there for another inning of work is Jacob Polish, who so far has walked 1 guy. Aside from that, he has retired all 6 that he's faced, 4 via the strikeout. And Colin, he looks locked in today.
Yep, and he's gotten run support so far, albeit just 1. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. He's looked locked in. When you strike out 4 of the 7 batters you face the first time through the lineup, it's definitely going to put yourself in a good groove. And I know Palish is hoping to go deep into this ball game and give his bullpen day off, although they got some help from Seckler yesterday going 6 innings. I'm sure he's looking to at least equal that, maybe even go a big 7 innings.
So he will face off against the bottom part of the order. It'll be 8-9-1, starting with the catcher in David Avidia. Avidia steps in from the right-handed batter's box. Polish ready to go here, back out of the windup after getting back-to-back strikeouts out of the stretch. And the first pitch is a fastball low and away that just catches the zone in there for strike 1.
Avidia out of Phoenix, Arizona at Grand Canyon University.
Big jackalope. So that one is missed to make the count 0-2. A team, or a school, I should say, that has no football program, but that basketball program has been awfully good in D2 as that pitch will miss away. So it's a 1-2 count here. Last year at JCU, hit just 198 in 59 games. And he'll swing through that one for strike 3. David Avidia down on strikes, and that is K number 5 for Jacob Polish.
Yeah, very impressive pace, retiring 5 of the 7 guys that he's retired via the strikeout. It's just been a phenomenal start for Jacob Polish.
Mixing speeds has been his #1 focus, and it has worked out to perfection today. So now he'll get Zach Daniels, the outfielder out of Stockbridge, Georgia, from the University of Tennessee. And he will take one deep into right field. It's Hurtubise chasing it back to the track, and he'll make the catch for out #2.
Yeah, finally a really hard-hit ball. We saw the guy stepping in now, Jordan Lala, rip one right at the second baseman to lead off the game. But now Zach Daniels at the bottom of the order with a laser hit out towards deep center, but Jacob Hurtubise and his speed able to run that down in the right center field gap.
And we wondered, when we saw Hurtubise come into the first game he played at center field and Joey Weimer moved over to left, our immediate thought was, how fast is this kid? It's the first pitch to Jordan Lala will be in there for a strike. Lala, of course, lined out to start the game, first at bat of the game, back in the first inning. Aim with 2 away, he'll try to get something started for the Firebirds. Swings on this one and fouls it off. So he's fallen behind Polish, 0-2.
Some big NBA news today with Kemba Walker agreeing to sign with the Celtics tomorrow once free agency opens up, and now it looks like Kyrie Irving's going to be signing with the Nets as soon as free agency starts.
0-2 swung on and fouled away. So Polish looking to get another strikeout here, as he has already retired 5 via the K. Different guys got to step up and try to rack the strikeout count up, as Logan Allen's no longer around to do it. And there's strike 3. Breaking ball outside. Jordan Lala down on strikes, and the inning is over. It's another 3 up, 3 down for Jacob Polish. When we come back, the Mariners up the bat. It'll be Joey Weimer to lead it off. You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. We go to the home half of the third. Harwich Mariners doing what they do best on both sides of the ball, and unfortunately only half of that is a good thing, as on the pitching side they have looked phenomenal, striking out 6 guys through the first 3 innings. But Colin, they've also stranded 3 runners on base. They've had 4 opportunities, and they do have the 1 run, but this has kind of been the one thing we've been concerned about with the Mariners all season long.
Yeah, tough break not being able to score that second run in the second inning with the play at the plate. Hughes getting thrown out as Weimer looks at a called strike 1, as it was an aggressive play, and I guess you can kind of take those risks when you're up 1-0, but run unable to come home on the base hit.
Weimer was the one who scored back in the second, and he waves at a curveball there. You can see he's a little disgusted with himself as he steps away. Falls behind 0-2, but did reach on a double back in the first. Looking to get on for a second time today, but he's fallen behind Owen Schartz here, 0-2. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball that'll miss low and away. And it's a 1-2 count. So Joey Weimer looking to extend what has been one of the more impressive offensive performances out of anybody this season, and that continued last night against Hyannis, as he will lift this one high in the air. Coming in from center is Lala. He's going to be called off by the left fielder Daniels, who makes the catch in the Bermuda Triangle out there in left center for out #1.
And boy, Tyler, that was very reminiscent of the double that Weimer had. It was a blooper into shallow left center, but some miscommunication by the Firebirds, letting the ball drop and letting Weimer get up to second. This time, a lot cleaner this time around. Daniels calling off his center fielder and shortstop and making the catch himself.
So that'll bring Daniel Cabrera back up to the plate. No official at bat today, as he walked his first time up, and the first pitch he sees will be a called strike, a fastball inside, and the count is 0-1. But yeah, it was a tough play out there in left center, a concerning one, but they're able to make it, as this one misses to even the count at 1-1.
Those shallow pop-ups can really be some of the most dangerous plays when it comes to collisions.
1-1 pitch is waved at, a fastball outside, and Cabrera we'll go back to the drawing board. We've seen a lot of infield fly balls that have been hit a mile high, and we've seen a lot of balls hit out there kind of in that Bermuda Triangle, as you mentioned, as the 1-2 pitch is going to be ripped down the other line. This one will stay foul as that goes just right of the chalk at first base, and the count stays at 1-2.
We always talk about guys losing balls in the sun, but here it's a completely overcast day, so you might be losing a ball in the clouds here with just all white in the sky.
High off-speed pitch will miss, count even at 2-2. Yeah, it's been a couple of night games that we've had here at Harwich, a couple of late 6:30 starts. Of course, we have the liberty of having lights. The 2-2 is going to be driven into left field. That'll be Daniels, who chases it back about 10 steps and is able to record the catch for out number 3. So it's or actually out number 2, I should say.
Yeah, some impressive opposite field power there by Cabrera. That ball, he had great extension on it, and it just kept going and going and sending Daniels way back, probably about 15 feet in front of the wall, where he was able to make the catch. So despite some solid contact, 2 up, 2 down to begin the third for Harwich.
And that'll bring Nico Cavadas back to the dish. He's 1 for 1 with a base hit today. First pitch he sees is a fastball that will miss high. So Cavadas had the base knock and then was able to come around to second. That inning ended with a fly out from, or a line out I should say, from Pat Winkle. So this one will miss for ball 2. Shart's going back to work here. Been in the windup all inning long, and here comes the 2-1. That'll miss outside as well. And it's actually a 2-1 count now, sorry. Sharts kicks and fires. A big swing and a miss. Nico Cavadas looking to add an insurance run with one swing of the bat.
That was a challenge pitch from Sharts, throwing it right down the middle, seeing if Cavadas can take advantage of it. Wasn't expecting it. We'll see if he goes right back to that challenge fastball.
Here comes the 2-2. And he will. This time it'll be fouled away by Nico Cavadas. So we've seen the power out of Cavadas this season, and we saw it back in that doubleheader against Hyannis where he was able to launch just a crazy home run, I believe, over the scoreboard. He will wave through that one, though, and that'll be strike 3 to end the inning as he is down on 4 pitches. So we go to the 4th. Still a 1-0 lead for Harwich. When we come back, it'll be more Mariner baseball from White House Field. You're watching the Harwich Mariners on the Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to White House Field. Tyler Henry alongside Colin Casey. I'd like to remind you that today's game is brought to you by Curry College. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
So a game that is quickly moving as we're just under 40 minutes into this one and already through 3 innings, 1-0. The Harwich Mariners lead the Orleans Firebirds in the first meeting between these two teams in 2019. And it'll be 2-3-4 hitters with Zach Britton leading things off. Just the one base runner so far for Orleans. And Britton swings at the first pitch and hits it out towards fairly deep center field. Hurtaby's running back, and he's able to make the catch in left center field for out number 1.
Second time today we've seen Jacob Hurtaby's have to go deep out there in center to make a catch, but that's what you pay for when you get speed, and he is able to squeeze it for out number 1.
Number 41, the shortstop from
So 1 pitch, 1 out for the Mariners.
Murray.
And Tanner Murray digs in. Struck out swinging back in the first. And the first pitch. It's on the outside corner for a strike. Murray from UC. Oh, I completely lost it for a second. It's a ground ball over to third. And an easy play for Corey Acton. He records his first fielding assist as a Harwich Mariner for out number 2.
Yep, looked pretty smooth over there at third base. Just a good move to his left over to the bag, picks it up and fires across. Pretty good arm speed as well, and it'll be interesting to see where he fits in on the Harwich Mariners infield, as I doubt we'll see Cavadas come off first, Fedko come off second, but you got Hughes and Keenan at short and third.
There's a swing and a miss, strike 1 to Goodhart, and it's actually UC Davis where Zach Britton went. One of 2 guys to go to a University of California school, the other being Shea Whitcomb at UC San Diego, as that pitch swung on, fouled off, and Polish is 1 strike away from a 5-pitch inning.
Could be getting out of this one very quickly. As we mentioned, this game has been flying by so far.
0-2 is hit on the ground to short. Hughes comes up with it, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Polish. And as we're through 3.5 from White House Field, it's Harwich 1, Orleans nothing. You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. And we're back here once again from White House Field, and through 3.5, it's been a pitcher's duel, 1-0, the lead for Harwich over the Orleans Firebirds. And Tyler, hopefully for the Mariners, they can get some more offense like they did back in the first inning here in the fourth with Mike Ludwig leading things off.
Yeah, I mean, they've had their opportunities so far, but just have left a couple of guys on the base paths. They left second and third with 1 away back in the first, and left a guy in the second as an attempted bunt is fouled back to the screen here for Ludwig. So, you know, they've had their chances, just got to find ways to cash in on those, and so far they've done that once, boasting a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Ludwig, the bit of speed as he fouls that pitch off, looking to lay down a bunt. This past year with Wake Forest, he had 6 steals. Year before that, he had 10, so he's not afraid to try to test his speed on the base paths. The 0-2 from Schartz is fouled off to the left.
And here we see arguably the thing that the Mariners do best, and that's go deep into hitting counts. I mean, he's not deep yet, but fighting off an 0-2 pitch just to extend the at-bat.
And that pitch will miss high. And Tyler, we know how disciplined Mike Ludwig can be. He actually walked 5 times once in a game in which Wake Forest came from behind against UNCG. University of North Carolina Greensboro, as that pitch is in the dirt. And here's another another lengthy at-bat for Ludwig, as the count is at 2-2.
And I believe that's a record. 5 walks in a single game. I could be wrong about that, but that's an awful lot.
Ludwig gets into one and hits it out towards center, but unfortunately right at the center fielder Jordan Lala for out number 1.
So that'll bring up Pat Winkle, who also kind of broke out of a bit of a slow start. Had an RBI, still went 0 for 4 yesterday, so not the best performance he could have hoped for, but the RBI certainly helping him out a little bit.
Back.
Yeah, Winkle hitting just 125 so far this season, 2 hits for him and 2 RBIs to go along with that.
He's seen some time here with Mike Rothenberg unavailable at the moment. The 0-1's on the inside corner for strike 2.
And kind of crazy that of the 6 guys chosen for the College World Series Home Run Derby, 3 of them
2 down.
So from a guy that struck out this time around to a guy who started off with a strikeout, it'll be Corey Acton coming up to the plate, still looking for also his first hit, but only one at bat for Acton so far. And we'll see what he's got in store, as it'll be his second time facing Owen Sharts.
Lefty against righty, and Acton swings at the first pitch. It's hit on the ground to second. Soretti able to make the play, and that will retire the side. So this game continues to keep flying, and through 4 full, it is Harwich leading Orleans 1-0. You're watching Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. Head to the top of the 5th. Your White House Field, and Tyler Jacob Polish with a phenomenal first 4 innings for Harwich, 4 scoreless with 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, he's just fitting right in with all the other guys that are on this roster when it comes to the strikeout numbers. And this was a bit of a mismatch that you and I kind of alluded to earlier. The team that strikes out the most this year in the Orleans Firebirds against the team with the most pitching strikeouts in the Harwich Mariners. And that has kind of played itself out today.
And the first pitch is swung on and fouled off by Ray Gill down the line to make it 0-1. And yeah, as you mentioned, Orleans, they came in to the game second, but with all these strikeouts now, they've, for the time, taken that top spot away from Katuitt, who are actually up a touchdown and an extra point against Wareham. The score is 7-0. 1-1 the count.
Yep, a lot of action going on around the league right now. At last check, Brewster was up on YD 3-0. Commodores of Falmouth looking to bounce back. They're up 1-0 on Bourne.
Hard ground ball up the middle. Tough play by Thompson. The throw is skipped, and it goes all the way to the first base dugout. Winkle able to get there, but with the error, it's going to be a runner on second with nobody out for the Firebirds.
And it'll be interesting to see whether they do, in fact, rule that as an error. It would have been awfully close at first base. They will rule it an error, so that'll be an error on Cam Thompson. A tough play trying to pick that out of the dirt by Nico Cavadas, but he had to come all the way to his right. He threw that ball on the other side of second base and just unable to get him, and then Gill moves up to second as that one rolls to the fence.
That's now 3 errors in less than 2 games by Mariners second baseman. So Danny Soretti, the golden opportunity to maybe tie things up on a base hit. Gill, the runner on second. The first pitch he swings at is on the ground to Hughes. Long throw across the diamond is in time for out number 1, but Gill able to advance to third, and he's 90 feet away from tying this game with Shea Whitcomb coming to the dish.
Yep, and that's the important factor here. We'll see what the infield does, but you get the feeling the corners are going to come in here, and they will. So everybody's going to play to prevent the run at home.
So it'll be Whitcomb, who's 2 of 17 on the season. 2 of 18 now, actually, after striking out looking in the second. And the first pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. And Whitcomb out of UC San Diego. Infield slightly in, not exactly all the way in, as that pitch will misload even the count 1-1. 1 strike. Polish's pitch is an inside-out swing over the first base bag. It's going to drop in for a base hit, and from third comes Gill. So it's an unearned run for Orleans, but it's enough to tie the game at 1 apiece.
Yep, and this is where the runs that Harwich kind of left on the base paths really come back to haunt them, as now things are tied up in the 5th, and also Shea Whitcomb will move up to first base. So a little bloop single, that's all it takes. And still 1 away. Orleans will look to take the lead now.
So David Avidia from Grand Canyon, the 8-hitter who struck out swinging to lead off the 3rd. Now with a runner on first and 1 away. Polish's first pitch is right down the middle as he continues to pound the strike zone. Only 1 walk so far. The 0-1 is on the outside corner for a strike.
Yep, so Avidia trying to avoid being a strikeout victim for a 2nd time today. Polish would probably be more than happy to get him here and head out with a tie game.
0-2 the count. Runner going. Pitches outside. The throw down by Winkle is there, and just getting the hand in time. Stealing second is Whitcomb. So now runner in scoring position with 1 away.
Yep, and that's important because, again, I mean, all it takes is 1 little bloop, and this team could be ahead in Orleans. So the runner on second, which is exactly where they had Ray Gill earlier in this game.
2nd stolen base of the season for Whitcomb and the 10th overall for Orleans. The 1-2. Check swing, did he go? The appeal down to second, and he did not, so the count is even at 2. Zach Daniels, the 9-hitter, in the on-deck circle. Long set, and the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and so Palish finally able to get that 7th strikeout after recording his last one back in the 3rd, and that is out number 2.
Yep, for Polish, just continuing to cruise through guy after guy, and that is, as you mentioned, for him today, strikeout number 7. So he'll face Zach Daniels here. Still looking for his first hit, over 1 with a fly out to center back in the 3rd inning.
Shea Whitcomb, the runner on second. 2 down here in the top of the 5th with 1 home in the inning. And the first pitch, and got time called just before as it was a long pause by Jacob Polish. So he'll do it again.
Yeah, not 100% sure what the deal was on that. He wasn't really overly concerned about the runner on second or anything, but just waited a long time, and that prompted time to be called by home plate umpire Robert Wilson.
Now the lefty delivers the first pitch, and it is fouled off to the right.
Yeah, the pitch count currently definitely not a concern for Jacob Polish, who has been cruising through the first several innings. This is really the longest half inning that we've had on either side, but for the time being, it's still alive for the Firebirds, who have it tied up here with a runner in scoring position and 2 away.
0-1 swing and a miss for strike 2, as some action in the Orleans bullpen as Isaac Escada warming up. He is yet to pitch this year from USC.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, USC not one of those schools that went deep into a College World Series run, so interesting as to why he hasn't made his debut yet.
0-2 with 2 down. The pitch from Polish is skipped in on Winkle. Nice stop to keep the runner Whitcomb over at second. Harwich 4-3 at White House Field this year, and just the opposite on the road, 3-4. 1-2 misses high.
And he's got a couple of pitches to waste here, but definitely don't want to waste too much time with Zach Daniels. Just go right at him. Be interesting to see whether we see the changeup. That seems to be one of his favorite strikeout pitches late in counts, and We'll see whether that is in fact what he decides to deliver here or not. So he'll step off again and take some more time to think things over. So Polish, who was working at a blazing speed earlier in this game, has started to really slow things down.
And he's given up his first hit of the ball game in this inning as that ball fouled off. Just the lone hit and the lone run being unearned as Raymond Gill, the leadoff man in this inning, reaching on an error, eventually coming around to score on the RBI single by Whitcomb, who stands at second.
Yep, still a perfect ERA on the season for Jacob Polish, but that's clearly not his concern right now, trying to prevent that runner on second base from coming across and making it a one-run Orleans lead.
And Polish will step off once again, a really long at-bat.
Something just seems off in the rhythm of Polish right now. This isn't really a big thing where the hitter's trying to mess with him. This isn't forced time. It's just Polish not ready, and here he comes.
Quick to deliver that ball as it's hit on the ground just to the left of the third base bag.
He's got one more pitch to waste if he wants, but you can kind of tell right now he's trying to put Zach Daniels away, not trying to waste too many more pitches or too much more time with him there in the box.
Daniels with 5 hits on the season, including a triple. He's driven in 2, but has also struck out a lot, a dozen times this year. 2-2. And Polish gets him to swing and miss for strike 3, so make it a baker's dozen at 13, and the side is retired. We're through 4.5 here at White House Field. Orleans is tied between the Firebirds and the Mariners. You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. Home half of the 5th inning, and it's going to be Schartz heading back out for another, despite the left-hander Escada warming up, so he'll at least start the inning, and he'll be greeted by the shortstop Hal Hughes, who singled in the second, stole second base, and then was thrown out to end the inning trying to score from second base.
Yep, so a big opportunity for him here to maybe get one of those back. Arguably should have been thrown out at second as he tried to steal a base. This one misses low, but while the throw was in time, it may have been there a little bit too early, as unable to apply the tag was Tanner Murray down there at second.
1-0 from Schartz. Line drive right at the second baseman Soretti. So quickly, Hughes is retired for out number 1 in the home half of the 5th.
Yeah, Soretti didn't even have to take a step. He had it right at him, just able to stand there and squeeze it for out number 1. So that'll bring Cam Thompson to the plate, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, looking to bounce back here in what could be one of the few final times we see him this year.
Thompson from Kansas State. And the first pitch he will see is an off-speed fouled straight back. Brewster enjoying a 3-0 lead in the top of the 6th over YD in another Eastern game. Here's the 0-1. Way out in front of it is Thompson. He falls behind in danger of striking out for the second time this evening.
Yeah, Thompson just seems at times this year has tried to put a little bit too much into his swing. It seems like he's been trying to hit for the fences and really not that type of hitter in the first place.
0-2 misses low and in. Falmouth also ahead 2-0 after 1 inning. 1-2 is an off-speed left upstairs.
Yep. 33 ABs on the year for Cam Thompson. That's good for Mark's 4th on the team.
Pretty much been there from the beginning as he swings and misses for strike 3, and Schartz quickly retiring the first 2 batters in the 5th for the Firebirds, and Thompson strikes out for the second time, 2 down.
Yep, but that'll bring up Jacob Hurtubise, who was able to get his first hit of the season back in the 2nd inning, and everyone will forget about that because on the very same play, Hal Hughes was thrown out trying to swipe home.
Hurtubise 1 for 2. He lines this one out into shallow center. Going to be a tough play, and it is down as Murray tried running it down in shallow center, instead having to pick it up in the grass. And so now Hurtubise is 2 for 3. And you always got to look out for that speed over at first base.
Yep, and speaking of speed, Joey Weimer will come to the dish now. And Hurtubise is one of those guys, we've seen a pretty good throw already from David Avidia, but honestly, I mean, we could still see Hurtubise swipe 1, maybe 2 bags here. Would not be surprised at all if they send him at some point during this at-bat. You get the feeling Schartz is going to pay a lot of attention to what's behind him.
First pitch to Weimer's on the inside corner. Weimer with a double, and he came around to score the lone run for Harwich in the first. He also flew out to left back in the 3rd. But with 2 away, he's got his teammate Hurtubise on first. He swings at the next pitch and fouls it off to make it 0-2.
Yep, and the explosive hitting ability and speed of Joey Weimer has been there all season long for the Mariners. One of the only other guys in the lineup during the first couple of games that is still in there today.
As I said earlier, Weimer entered tonight top 5 in batting average across the league as a pickoff move to first. Certainly helping that with the double in the first and looking to continue to climb in the race for the batting title for the CCBL 2019 season. 0-2 the count. And Schartz delivers, runner going. Throw down to first, a sliding tag, and he's in time. What an absolute perfect throw by Avidia, and a great tag over at second by Soretti. He slid along with Hurtubise over at second, got the tag down in time, and Hurtubise is caught stealing to end the 5th. After 5 innings of work, it is Orleans 1, Harwich 1. You're tuning in to Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Radio Network. Got ourselves a pitcher's duel in Harwich. 1-1 through 5. Jacob Polish heading out for inning number 6, trying to match the distance that Connor Seckler went in yesterday's game against Hyannis.
Yeah, and you want to talk about how quickly this game has gone. We have already caught up to Brewster and YD, who are also here in the 6th inning, and that game got a 30-minute head start on us. So moving very quickly here, and that's kind of been the thing too with long starts for a lot of these guys, as they'll try to get another good inning here out of Jacob Polish.
Jordan Lala, the leadoff man, batting leadoff in the lineup as well. First pitch in the dirt, and
You're welcome.
Palish has had some serious success against the top 3 hitters in the lineup, as they are 0 for 6 with 3 Ks. So Polish looking to continue that, and there's a line drive out towards left center field. That's going to get down, so make it 1 for 7 now, and Lala is on with a leadoff single.
Yep, and an ideal start here for the Orleans Firebirds, able to get their first man aboard. And usually when guys start getting hit, it's the 3rd time through the order, and that's exactly what this will be. As now Zach Britton will take a third hack at Polish. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout.
So with the speedy Lala on, 27 steals with the University of Miami in the spring. Britton with a great opportunity and a lot of room on the right side of the infield. Polish will throw over. Both teams with pitchers warming up. It's Nick Stewart in the pen. And a quick throw over to first, almost in time to get Lala. Very quick move. Almost caught Lala leaning.
Yeah, got to be careful. We talked about the good pickoff move by Jacob Polish that he's got.
Weak chopper to the pitcher. Tough throw over to second, and he's going to beat it. As it was a tough play by Polish to make with the speed of Lala. He got a great jump, and his foot just able to get to the bag before the throw. And now that's 2 on with nobody out, as reaching on first is Britton with a fielder's choice.
I get the intention, but you never want to go to second base if you get it hit back to you as the pitcher, unless it's on an absolute line. That ball was hit a little bit too softly. Good speed in Lala over there at first, and that's going to be a pretty good opportunity coming up here for the Firebirds.
Tanner Murray at the dish. A late entrant into the lineup, as it was Eddie McCabe originally supposed to start in that 3-hole and play short, but he was scratched about a half hour before the start of this one. First pitch and squaring on a bunt, and a pretty good one. Throw on to first is going to be in time, so it's a sacrifice bunt. Throw back to third, not in time, with Polish covering third. Lala able to get back with a dive, but it's going to be a sac bunt for Murray. And now 2 in scoring position with a chance to take the lead for Matt Goodhart.
Yeah, this is absolutely huge for the Firebirds. This is a chance, really the first one that they've had with a runner 90 feet away. Their one run that they scored came around from second, so this is the best situation that they've been in all day. And of course, no double play to be made with nobody at first base.
The infield will play back with Goodhart at the plate. He's got a couple of groundouts to the ledger. The first pitch in the dirt, a nice stop by Winkle to keep it from going to the backstop.
The fog is lifted here at White House Field. It's not a ton of sun, but pretty good playing conditions. Things have kind of calmed down a little bit, and for a 40% chance of rain for the rest of the night. Hopefully that will stay away.
Polish without giving up an earned run yet, 8 strikeouts. But the game tied at 1-1, and the second pitch is in there for a strike to even the count. Can't ask for much more from Polish, but you can ask him to try to get out of this inning and keep his team even going to the home half of the 6th. Check swing, did he go? A look over at third, he did not. 2-1.
And I mean, the guy standing over there on third, and Jordan Lala reached on a base hit. He would be the first earned run of the year given up by Jacob Polish if things don't improve here.
2 balls, 1 strike. Polish delivers. There's a high fly ball out towards fairly deep center. This should be deep enough to score the run. Catch is made by Hurtubise, and tagging and scoring from third is Lala. And so Orleans has taken the lead 2-1, and Britton moves up to third in the process.
It's exactly what you want out of a guy like Goodhart, just able to get a good barrel on it and send it out to center field. Nothing Hurtubise was going to be able to do as he throws to third, and it's a 2-1 lead for the Firebirds of Orleans.
So that is, as you mentioned, the first earned run allowed by Polish in this one. Now another runner in scoring position, an insurance run out there for Raymond Gill. Polish's first pitch, a big swing and a miss by Gill.
Yep, Gill scored the first run of the game, came over after reaching on an error, and was brought in by Shea Whitcomb.
2 runs on just 2 hits for Orleans. The 0-1 skips into the dirt. With Sharts going 5 innings right now, he is eligible for the win, even if he doesn't head back out there. The fate of that could be in the hands of his bullpen. 1-1. There's a line drive out towards right field. That ball's carrying off the bat, and it is off the wall. Getting it in is Cabrera, and it's going to be a double for Raymond Gill. That ball really jumped off the bat and almost carried out of the ballpark. So that brings home a run, and it is now 3-1 Orleans.
Yeah, that one looked very dangerously close to getting over the wall, and you mentioned the insurance run that they wanted to bring in is now, looks like Coach Neiman will head out and have a word with Polish. But yeah, just, I mentioned third time through the order. The first time through, they were able to get just one hit. They scored one run. That guy reached on an error, 3 base runners, and then a walk added on to that. Third time through the order, they start off with 3 hits, including the RBI double just now, a couple of base hits as well, and then the sacrifice fly and a sacrifice bunt. So nobody has not been productive third time through the order against Polish in this game. This could very well be the end to his outing. We'll see whether or not they elect to keep him in there or whether Jeff Neiman will leave him out.
And Raymond Gill, the only guy from either team to reach base in 3 appearances at the plate. And he's reached base 3 different times, or 3 different ways, I should say. Walking in the second, reaching on an error, and scoring in the 5th, and then having this RBI double just now in the 6th. And now he sits in scoring position as the Firebirds look to add to their 3-run total with Danny Soretti, the second baseman, at the plate. Soretti 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. And the right-handed batter swings the first pitch. It's a chopper. Foul is going over to play. That was Acton.
Yeah, with 2 away, still a runner in scoring position here for the Firebirds of Orleans. So they're still threatening, even with 2 outs, and just trying to put this one away here. It's Jacob Polish. Get the feeling his outing will probably be done after this inning if he works out of it, regardless.
Firebirds plating 2 so far this inning. They added another last inning in the 5th. The 0-1 swing and a miss for strike 2. That was kind of the pitch that Soretti struck out on in the second, was that breaking ball on the inside half. Having trouble getting those hands around. Gill, the runner on second. 0-2 count. 2 down in the top of the 6th. Polish from the stretch, a long look in. Glances over at Gill. Now he comes home. That ball grounded foul to the third base side, and Soretti seems like he's been very early in each swing he's made today.
Yeah, definitely pulled that one. Good reflexes by somebody out there in the Mariners dugout, having to jump up and avoid getting hit by that one. An absolute rocket.
Soretti, the 6th man to bat in the inning for the Firebirds. Shea Whitcomb on deck as time has been granted to Soretti. Whitcomb was the one who drove home the first run of the game for the Firebirds on an RBI single. That one just getting over Nico Cavadas' head over by first. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, so Soretti goes down on strikes for the second time, but not before his team adds a couple of runs and takes a 3-1 lead here over the Harwich Mariners, as we're through 5.5 from White House Field. Once again, 3-1 is the score. Orleans in front of Harwich. You're watching Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. back once again from White House Field. New pitcher to tell you about for the Firebirds. It's going to be the right-hander Dawson McCarville out of another guy actually out of Grand Canyon, so a teammate of David Avidia, his catcher. So, Tyler, definitely some chemistry between the battery here.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you've had an opportunity to catch a guy for an entire season, you can come into a summer league like this and not have to worry about, what are the signals, what are we going with, what do you throw, how does it break, all of that's already sorted out, so a big advantage on that note. But from one jackalope to another, see how this goes as they'll face off against one of the toughest parts of the order. It'll be Joey Weimer, Daniel Cabrera, and Nico Cavadas, as the Mariners need a couple of runs to get back into this one.
Yeah, and Avidia has actually had himself quite the defensive game. He made the tag to catch Hal Hughes from scoring back in the second, and then to end last inning, he was able to throw out Jacob Hurtubise trying to steal second. But now it'll be Joey Weimer leading things off for the Mariners. The Cincinnati Bearcats' first pitch that he sees is on the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, that one a little bit further outside. I think Weimer, with as big of a strike zone as he has gotten maybe the toughest calls this year behind the plate.
That pitch misses high, 1-1. Saw Weimer the other day walking with Christian Fedko before yesterday's game. And they will now be conference mates once again, with UConn moving back to the Big East, as there's a swing and a miss for strike two.
Yeah, big move for UConn, able to kind of get in there. And some people not a big fan of it, but ultimately it helps out. I mean, even with a football program, it's better to be in a big conference and maybe a little bit irrelevant, but you're still going to pull money in that way.
1-2, swing and a miss, strike three, and Weimer is gone swinging, and good start from McCarville, one down in the bottom of the sixth.
Yep, working very quickly here. Mentioned out of the University of Grand Canyon University, if you will. 1-0 this season, has yet to give up an earned run. And for him, still no strikeouts. No strikeouts, no walks.
So Daniel Cabrera lays off the first pitch high. Cabrera walked back in the first inning, ended up being stranded at third. He also flew out to left on a pretty well-hit ball back in the third. And he falls behind 0-2, so McCarville wasting no time attacking these Mariners hitters. It's 1-1 is actually the count. Now one misses outside, so it's 2-1.
Yep, just needs to string a couple of hits together. Haven't done that in quite some time, as the Mariners, with the exception of Jacob Hurtubise's base hit, haven't had one since the second inning.
There's a strike, 2-2 the count. Here's the 2-2. Swing to miss and a ball in the dirt, strike three, so McCarville getting that strikeout pitch working as he strikes out the first two of the 2-3-4 hitters of the Mariners.
Yep, and that's good for his first two strikeouts of the year, as I mentioned earlier, coming into this game through just the 1 1/3 innings pitch. No strikeouts for him, but off to a really good start here, and that'll bring Nico Cavadas up to the dish, a guy who's already struck out once today. Got a hit in his other at-bat.
From the windup, Carville's first pitch is in there as he continues to pound the zone. As you mentioned, Cavadas with the lone RBI in this one back in the first. The Mariners looking to get some offense here. And that ball sliced off to the left, out of play. They are out hitting the Firebirds, but haven't been able to bring home as many runs. Oh and 2. And the pitch is fouled off to the left.
So the count stays 0-2 once again, fighting off a two-strike pitch here. That's the fifth guy in the lineup to do that today for the Harwich Mariners.
Mariners with just one hit over the last 3 2/3 innings. And Cavadas will send this ball high in the air out towards center. Slowly coming in to make the catch is Lala, and it's a 1-2-3 inning out of the pen for Dawson McCarville. He's able to maintain the lead for his Orleans Firebirds, as after 6 it is 3-1 Firebirds over the Mariners. You are watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. 3-1, the Orleans Firebirds ahead of the Harwich Mariners after 6 innings of play from White House Field. And just a quick reminder that this game is brought to you in part by Cape Cod Healthcare. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealthcare.org/urgent-care.
So a new pitcher coming into the game here as we get into the 7th inning of play. It'll be Nick Stewart taking over for Jacob Polish, who not a bad line today, all things considered, but he is currently, and his squad, trailing by 2. So it's a 3-1 lead here for the Orleans Firebirds, and again, not a bad stat line today, Colin.
Yeah, Polish actually on the hook for the loss despite going 6 full, giving up 3 runs, only 2 of them earned. Gave up 3 hits as well and walked 1, but he did strike out 9. He had that strikeout pitch working, just wasn't quite able to get the big pitch in a couple of those innings, especially in the 6th, where Orleans was able to put on 2 and eventually take the lead.
So he will leave Nick Stewart to deal with the bottom third of the order. It'll be Shea Whitcomb, David Avidia, and Zach Daniels. Starting things off will be Whitcomb, who today is 1 for 2, a base knock and a strikeout. Had an RBI single, as I mentioned, back in the 5th inning, and the first pitch he sees is fouled away, so he falls behind in the count 0-1. Nick Stewart out here in his 3rd appearance, 6 2/3 so far, an 0-1 record as a starter. Posted a save a few days ago during his 2nd outing and a 6.5 ERA, 11 strikeouts to go along with just 1 walk. 0-1 pitch, it's going to be a breaking ball, actually a circle change, and he's got an 0-2 count here on Shea Whitcomb.
Yeah, that save very similar to the one that Will Heflin had yesterday, going 3 innings. Just 1 hit allowed in that save against Katuitt with 6 strikeouts.
0-2 pitch, fastball upstairs, and they're going to check down. He did not offer the pitch, so it's a 1-2 count here.
Very, very close on that check swing, and fastball looked like it got Whitcomb to go around. It kind of handcuffed him, but just able to keep those wrists from breaking.
So Whitcomb digs back in. The 1-2 pitch will miss high and away, and the count is even at 2-2. Of course, Nick Stewart, fastball that comes in at about 95, a circle change, and a knuckle curve. So an interesting set of pitches for him, but it's been effective so far this season. It was effective last year at James Madison as he posted a 2.74 ERA. 2-2 pitch. That time it's going to be undisputable as he swings through that for strikeout number 1, and Nick Stewart picks up right where Jacob Polish left off with a strikeout.
Yeah, nice pitch getting Whitcomb to chase in the dirt. That's what you got to do with your off speed, able to get him to check swing, and this time unable to hold up, so now it'll be up to Avidia to try to break his 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Yep, Avidia still looking for anything to go right for him today as he fouls the first pitch back. It's been a tough outing for the catcher out of GCU. Avidia had hits in 2 of his last 3 games, both of which were against Wareham, went 1 for 2 with an RBI during that game, and then had another knock against Hyannis. This one is going to miss for ball 1. The count even at 1 apiece. Hit over 500 during his high school career, so he'll swing through that one for a strike. Phoenix native, getting his 3rd at bat today. Facing off for the first time against Nick Stewart, who deals the 1-2. That one will be fouled away. Count to 1-2. It stays right where it's at.
Yeah, Avidia, another guy on this Firebirds lineup prone to striking out. He's one of, I believe that's 7 guys with 10 plus strikeouts on the year already.
Yep, and that's part of the reason why they lead the league, or actually are 2nd in the league in that metric. 1-2 pitch, and that one's going to be just in there for strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts to start the outing here for Nick Stewart, and the Harwich pitching continues to impress.
Yeah, and so far through these first 2 batters, it's been a struggle for Firebirds hitters to be able to pick up that low pitch. Both strikeout pitches coming low, one swinging and one looking.
So that'll bring Zach Daniels up to the dish for a 3rd time today. He himself is 0 for 2, had a strikeout back in the 5th and flied out to center back in the 3rd. Daniels ready for the first pitch from Stewart, and there's that circle change. Big sweeping movement on that. And it's a 0-1 count. Daniels has struggled a little bit on the season. Part of the reason he finds himself down here in the 9 holes. The 0-1 pitch is brought home. That'll miss down in the dirt, and the count is even at 1-1.
Yeah, but we know he's got a little bit of speed in that 9 hole with the triple on the year, so he's able to find a gap. He can really let it fly on the base pass and try to make something happen with 2 outs.
1-1. It's going to be just in there. Fastball low. Of course, playing last summer in the Northwoods League with the Kalamazoo Growlers. If that name sounds familiar to you, it's because that's also where Joe Boyle spent his 2018 summer. So, former teammate of another Harwich Mariner, the 1-2, check swing. They go down to third, and he went. So that'll be 3 straight strikeouts. Nick Stewart with a perfect inning here to start his outing in the 7th. But the Mariners still trail it by 2. The bats come up here in the 7th when we come back. You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners Radio Network. Welcome back to White House Field. Tyler Henry alongside Colin Casey. Let's catch you up on what's going on around the league in other games. Brewster playing at YD. The Red Sox of Yarmouth Dennis fighting back. They are now trailing by 1. That game is 2-3. Wareham is trying to come back on Katuitt. They've got a little bit further to go, though, as they trail 9-1 on the road. Falmouth is up on board at last check 3-0. That game currently in the 4th, and still waiting on a score from Hyannis and Chatham. But given the way the season has gone, you may be able to guess how that game is going. We'll get you updated on that one in just a bit. Here it's 3-1 for Orleans, and leading things off here in the inning is Mike Ludwig. He will fly one out, and a great over-the-shoulder catch is going to be made by Murray as he was jogging out to left center field. How about that to start the inning, Colin?
Oh, that's a phenomenal play. I mean, it was almost like a blind catch. You got a quick glance at it before it started dropping right behind him. He was able to get a glove on it the last second, and just a very impressive play by the shortstop.
So it could have been another bloop single, something we've seen an awful lot of in this game. Ends up dropping into the glove of Murray out there at short. That will bring to the dish Pat Winkle, who takes the first pitch off the plate for a ball. He is 0 for 2 today, lined out to right back in the first and then struck out in the 4th. And so far it's been 4 up, 4 down for McCarville. This one's going to be taken right to first, picked up and tossed from Gill to McCarville, and it's going to be able to tag the bag for out number 2.
Yep, just fielding 101 by the pitcher McCarville, getting over to cover first base, a play that's been, I'm sure he's practiced about 1,000 times in his career, but can sometimes be one of the trickier ones for pitchers, especially ones that struggle with mobility, but McCarville made it look easy on that one.
So that'll bring Corey Acton up to the dish. He is 0 for 2 here in his debut. First pitch he sees is going to be a fastball with a little late tailing action. And he's fallen behind as that one cuts into the zone, counted 0-1. So here is the 0-1 pitch from McCarville. That'll miss outside. Actually, they're going to say it just catches the plate. And the count is 0-2 here.
Yeah, that outside corner really been working from McCarville. Been trying to spot it out there. Let's see if he goes back with an 0-2 count.
Here it comes, out of the windup, swing and a miss, strike 3. Corey Acton is down on strikes for a second time in his debut. So another quick inning here. We head to the 7th. Still a 2-1 or 3-1 lead, I should say, for the Orleans Firebirds. More baseball right around the corner from White House Field. You're watching Mariners baseball on the Harwich YouTube network. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to White House Field. Tyler Henry alongside Colin Casey as the Harwich Mariners will look for a couple of runs, and they come back up. But for the time being, trying to keep more off the boards. The Orleans Firebirds hold a 3-1 lead here in their half of the 8th inning.
And meanwhile, out-of-town score to update you on, Brewster has doubled their run total in the entire game with a 3-run double by Marcus Castanon in the top of the 7th. They now lead 6-2 over the YD Red Sox. So Brewster trying to make some noise and even their win total with the Red Sox atop the East Division.
Yep, it looked like the Red Sox might be climbing back into that game, but putting a quick stop to that are the Whitecaps. So it'll be the top of the order coming up here for the Orleans Firebirds. Jordan Lala will lead things off. He's already 1 for 3 today. And the first pitch he sees is going to be an off-speed that cuts into the zone for strike 1.
Yeah, ever since that last game, Stewart's been so impressive coming out of the pen. His off-speed movement's just been phenomenal.
Here he comes with a fastball, and he'll get that one fouled away. But yeah, Nick Stewart, I mean, starting off this inning, or starting off this performance with 3 straight strikeouts, 2 swinging, 1 looking. But now he faces the more dangerous part of the order, starting with Lala, who has already scored 1 run today. He came in on a sac fly by Matt Goodhart. As here's the off speed, that'll miss outside, and the count is 1-2. Lala back in, ready to go. 1-2 pitch, and he will foul this one away. Back out of play off to our left. So working deep into the count here, trying to get the pitch count up a little bit for Nick Stewart. Stewart ready here with the 1-2 pitch, still working out of the windup. The big righty kicks and fires. That one's going to be taken right at short. Cavadas gloves it, and he will step on first himself for out number 1.
Yeah, it seems like Cavadas has really become comfortable playing first base because we did see him moving from first and third, not exactly seeing the most consistent playing time over at first, but the more he's played, the more comfortable he's looked making those plays on those hard-hit balls. It's sometimes kind of forgotten about how hard sometimes lefties can yank that ball down the first baseline.
So that brings up Zach Britton here for a 4th time today. He's already 1 for 3 with a run scored, and the first pitch he sees is going to come in off speed up around the letters. It'll just catch the zone for strike 1.
And as far as I know, Zach Britton not related to New York Yankees relief pitcher Zach Britton.
I would assume not. As the 0-1 pitch comes in from Stewart, that'll miss high and away. Playing different positions as well. This Zach Britton, an outfielder, playing out in right today for the Firebirds of Orleans. And here maybe trying to add an insurance run or 2 as the Firebirds enjoy a 2-run lead. That one swung on and fouled back to the screen. And it'll make the count 1-2 here.
And I remember Zach Britton, when he was a closer for the Orioles, had a phenomenal 2016 season. ERA below 1. But unfortunately, his season ended waiting in the bullpen to come in as his teammate Ubaldo Jimenez giving up that walk-off home run in the wild card game to Edwin Encarnacion.
1-2 will miss just outside, and basically a photographic memory for you with the MLB. Able to remember pretty much anything from any day. 2-2 pitch. That one swung on and taken high in the air. Chasing it back is Hal Hughes, and he will come out onto the outfield grass and glove it for out number 2.
Part of the reason I remember that one especially is just how big of a mammoth shot that was by Encarnacion. I mean, a lot of people, when they think of big home runs to the Rogers Center, you think of that Jose Bautista home run against the Rangers just a year before. But that ball probably went farther than the Bautista home run. I mean, it was just tattooed into the upper deck and ended up sending the Blue Jays to that ALDS game, or ALDS series, I should say.
Absolutely. So that'll bring up Tanner Murray here for a 4th time today. Laid down a sac bunt his last time up, still looking for his first hit of the day as he is 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of groundouts, one being that sac bunt. He'll swing through the first pitch from Stewart. That'll miss up, but goes through it anyway, and it's an 0-1 count. Again, Murray not tabbed for the start originally, but trying to make the most out of this, hitting just 194 on the season. Does have 1 home run. Here comes the pitch, and that is going to be fouled away. Count to 0-2 here.
Yeah, but of course, Murray, a big reason why this score is 3-1. You can't overlook that sacrifice bunt he had with 2 guys on and nobody out, just moving the runners up, and a sac fly and a double, and then it was a 3-1 game.
Right now, trying to maybe start something with 2 away. He will swing on this one and hit it out to center. Hurtubise will take about 3 steps back and straight away and make the play for out number 3. So another 3 up, 3 down inning. We head to the home half of the 8th. Mariners due up to bat. It'll be Hughes, Thompson, and Hurtubise. When we come back, you're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network.
Home half of the 8th here from White House Field, 3-1 is the score. Orleans ahead of Harwich, and this edition of Harwich Mariners Baseball is sponsored by Milton Cat. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
So we go to the home half of the 8th inning. Tyler Henry alongside Colin Casey here from White House Field. Mariners trailing it by 2, and they'll try to get something started here in their half of the 8th. Down to their final 6 outs to try to avoid dipping below 500 for, what seems like the 6th or 7th time this year. They've been flirting with 500 all year, and they've gotten back to that point a number of times. This one will be chopped off the back there of Hal Hughes. The Mariners have never been more than 2 games under 500. They've never been more than 1 game over 500 this season, so kind of just hovering around that average line.
Consistency is a good thing, but I'm sure they would definitely like being a little bit higher on that 500 mark in terms of consistency, a little bit higher in the standings. But again, still in striking distance with a wide-open Eastern Division.
Off-speed pitch will miss low to even the count at 1-1. So Hal Hughes, who today is 1 for 2, line out and a base hit, was thrown out trying to take home back in the 2nd inning. Digs in with a 1-1 pitch, and that'll miss inside. So the count is 2-1.
And if the Mariners can get some help from Hyannis with a win over Chatham's, that game just starting now, they'll be able to at least stay tied in terms of wins with Chatham.
This one's going to be grounded right at third, picked up by Whitcomb. Throw across the diamond's going to take him off the bag, but they're going to be able to get the tag applied. So a heads-up play over there by Gill, and that'll put him away for out number 1.
And McCarville continues to be impressive out of the pen. 7 up, 7 down so far. He's mixed in 3 strikeouts as well, starting with Weimer back in the bottom of the 6th, and he's working his way towards the bottom of the order, trying to make it 9 straight.
Yep, the top of the order will have one more say, though. Cam Thompson from the 9-hole digs in now. First pitch he sees, he will foul back to the screen. So it'll be Hurtubise, Weimer, Cabrera, Cavadas at least. We'll get one more crack at this one, but the Mariners need runs, and they need them in a hurry. Trailing here by 2 runs, 3-1 our score. The Orleans Firebirds on top. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and that one's going to be taken well into left field, but playing it perfectly is Lala, who's able to make 3 steps to his left out in shallow center field and record the catch for out number 2. And that is probably the most I've seen anybody playing in on a guy this year, as they know Cam Thompson not renowned for his speed, so they brought the whole infield in, and it works out well, as that one would probably have dropped in for a bloop single, but instead it's going to be caught for an out.
Yeah, Lala's been a solid defensive center fielder this year, and he got a great jump on that ball, so made it look easy as the first pitch to Hurtubise is a strike.
Yeah, Hurtubise, of course, came into today 0 for 6 on the season, still looking for his first hit. He's found 2 of them here. A pair of base knocks, one in the 2nd, one in the 5th. Here he squares around a bunt, pulls it back, but it's going to be in there for strike 2 regardless. And he has fallen behind Dawson McCarville here early.
I'm not sure I've seen anyone against the Mariners this year be as effective as McCarville's been.
He has been torching guys left and right, as here he will miss with a high fastball. So Hurtubise with 2 away here in the home half of the 8th inning, trying to get something started for the Mariners. The 1-2 pitch from McCarville. That one's going to be swung on and taken up the middle, but it'll be picked up by Soretti, who throws on to first for out number 3. The Mariners go quietly in their half of the 8th. One more chance for a few insurance runs to be added for Orleans. When we come back, it'll be the 9th and final inning after this. You're watching Mariners baseball on the Harwich TV network. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to White House Field. Tyler Henry alongside Colin Casey as the Harwich Mariners will send Nick Stewart out for a 3rd inning of work, and he's looked awfully good so far. 6 up, 6 down for him, but his team's still trailing it by 2. The Mariners needing a late comeback here if they're going to find a way to stay above or stay at or above 500. First guy to dig in here will be Matt Goodhart. And the first pitch he sees is going to be smoked into the gap out in right center field. Hurtubise will come in to cut that one off, so it'll be a base hit here. And an ideal start for the Firebirds here in the 9th if they're trying to add a few runs on.
Yeah, that's actually their first hit in a couple of innings, the last one being the RBI double by Raymond Gill. Since then, it was 7 straight retired by Mariners pitching, including 6 in a row by Stewart out of the pen, but finally a leadoff man on, and now it's going to be Gill again, who's reached base in all 3 plate appearances, looking to continue that successful day at the dish.
And, of course, Matt Goodhart was able to bring in the RBI on a sac fly back in the 6th that gave the Orleans Firebirds a 1-run lead. They're now up by 2. Runner on first, nobody out, and Raymond Gill coming up to the dish. First pitch he sees, he'll swing on. Keeping it off speed, high and away is Stewart, and it'll be in there for strike 1.
Yeah, Gill walking in the 2nd, reaching on an error in the 5th and coming around to score in the 5th, and with an RBI double back in the 6th.
He's a hit by pitch away from reaching on all 4 of the conventional ways that a guy can get on. This one will be in there for a strike. I guess he could also ground into a fielder's choice here.
Catcher's interference as well, I believe another one, and a drop 3rd strike.
So he'll need a few more bats if he wants to get to all of them, but certainly looking to expand on that as he's reached base all 3 times. Still nobody out here in the 1st. An 0-2 count for Nick Stewart, who has gone to the stretch, and he will kick and fire. This one swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 3 to Ray Gill. Strikeout number 4 here for Nick Stewart.
And that actually makes Gill the 8th guy to reach double digits in strikeouts this year for the Firebirds. So definitely feast or famine at the plate for these Firebird hitters, but so far they've done enough to put themselves in a position to win heading into the bottom of the 9th.
So that'll bring up Danny Soretti, who is 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. 1 away. Firebirds here in the visitors' 9th. And the pitch. It's going to be off speed, and it'll be right there in the zone. So an 0-1 count here early for Nick Stewart, who kind of took an inning off from the strikeouts after getting the first 3 guys he faced via the K. Got a 3-up, 3-down inning in the 8th without one, and then picks up the first out of the 9th here with a strikeout. Stewart checks the runner, the 0-1 pitch. His fastball that'll miss down in the dirt. Good block by Winkle.
Soretti, the youngest player on the Firebirds roster, born May 7th, 2000.
So a whole 2 years and change younger than I am.
Doesn't it make you feel old?
It really does. I did not need that when I woke up this morning. So the 1-1 coming here to Danny Soretti. Stewart comes set, checks the runner back to first, and here's the pitch. Runner takes off. That's the hit and run. That one's going to be driven into deep center field. Hurtubise is back on it, and it's going to be off the wall. Hurtubise picks it up. We'll see whether or not they send the runner. They will not, so it's going to be a stand-up double for Danny Soretti. And the Firebirds have second and third here with one away.
Yeah, and I feel like the Mariners are a bit lucky there that that ball wasn't hit a little bit harder. One, because it probably would have gotten out, but also the ball hanging up there for all that time forced the runner Goodhart to hold up at second instead of continuing to run round second and be able to score. So he holds up at third, and now Whitcomb with a chance to pick up his second or maybe third RBI of the afternoon.
A golden opportunity coming here for Shea Whitcomb. It's been pretty much feast or famine today. He's 1 for 3, has a couple of strikeouts, and then the RBI single back in the fifth that drove home Raymond Gilt, who at the time was the only run for the Firebirds back when it was a 1-1 game. And now time will be called as Pat Winkle wants to come out and have a word with his guy. It's a very brief word, maybe just something about a sign or what he wants him to throw here on this first pitch, but either way, Shea Whitcomb will have a chance to maybe pad the lead a little bit here as the Firebirds have their last at-bats, assuming the Mariners don't tie things up. So Stewart comes set. Here comes the first pitch. Squaring around a bunt and laying one down that'll go foul of the line is Whitcomb, and kind of risky there, going with a little suicide squeeze almost.
Yeah, that one was more of a safety, as a little bit of a solid lead over at third, kind of making it about a third of the way down the line, was the runner Soretti, the runner Goodhart, but didn't full out sprint towards the plate, was able to hesitate and just a foul ball. You wonder if they'll go back to that.
So with an 0-1 count, they certainly could. Corners playing in, everybody trying to prevent another run from coming across as Stewart will pound the strike zone with a fastball low and away in the zone though. And it's an 0-2 count here on Whitcomb.
Yeah, strike out the ideal scenario, because then the infield can go back to normal depth and just get the out at first with David Avidia on deck.
Whitcomb was the first guy to strike out to Nick Stewart back in the 7th inning, the first hitter that he faced. Stewart ready with the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be off speed, and they're going to say that one just misses the zone inside. And the count is 1-2.
Yeah, very close, looking to try to catch that up and in corner. But not enough break to bring it back over the plate in the eyes of the home plate umpire, Robert Wilson.
Already 5 RBIs on the year for Shea Whitcomb. A chance here with one away and runners at second and third here in the 9th. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be lined hard, and that's going to get off the glove of Acton over at third. They're going to wave the runner. He'll be in there easily, and it's 2 more RBIs, courtesy of Shea Whitcomb, a 5-1 lead for the Orleans Firebirds.
Boy, and talk about a huge, huge clutch piece of hitting by Whitcomb, bringing home a couple more runs to add to his RBI total now at 3, and that one putting it out of a save situation for the Firebirds. Not that I don't think they'll go right back to McCarville the way he's pitched, but very important to get the insurance run here in the top of the 9th.
So that brings up David Avidia, who so far is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts as Nick Stewart kicks and fires. First pitch is an off speed that'll miss low and outside, and the count is 1-0.
Yeah, it's definitely a shame for Stewart after having 2 very strong first innings, 6 up, 6 down in the 7th and the 8th, now running into a lot of trouble in the top of the 9th.
Avidia hitting just 100 on the year. It's been a very tough season for him as he has added to his strikeout total today, and he's up to 13 on the season. I believe that's enough to lead the team. But here, he has a 1-1 count, a runner on first base, and the Firebirds showing no sign of letting up here as they've now jumped out to a 5-1 lead in the 9th. Here comes the pitch from Stewart. Check swing. It's going to be in there for a strike anyway, and the count is 1-2 on a fastball down.
And these two teams scheduled to play each other once more tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, weather permitting. Some isolated thunderstorms in the forecast, so we'll see if they'll be able to get that game in Orleans.
Our 2 least favorite words, weather permitting. They've played a big role this season. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and lifted high in the air. Chasing it back is Hal Hughes out on the outfield grass. Takes a few steps in, and they're actually going to let Joey Weimer make the catch out in left field for out number 2. So once more, we'll head to the 9th hole where Zach Daniels will get an at-bat. He is 0 for 3 today, a couple of strikeouts and a fly out to center coming back in the 2nd inning. So he digs in. Still a runner on first, still a 4-run lead for Orleans. Nick Stewart still working out of the stretch.
Yeah, definitely been a rough day for the 8 and 9 hitters, with Avidia 0 for 4 and Daniels 0 for 3.
Everybody else on the team, as this one is fouled away, has either an RBI or a base hit today, or a run scored. But so far, the 8-9 holes have been very tough with that. With that fly out, Avidia goes 0 for 4. Zach Daniels trying to avoid doing the same here. It's an 0-1 count. Nick Stewart trying to get out of the inning. And here it comes. Runner takes off. Winkle's going to throw down to second. That's not going to be in time, though. Is in there well ahead of the throw is Zach Daniels. And we've seen a number of guys swipe second base so far this year on Winkle.
That's the 2nd steal of the game for Shea Whitcomb. The 3rd of the season, I believe.
So another runner moves up into scoring position here. Still 2 away, so it may or may not matter, but a ball in the gap could potentially put run number 6 up on the board for Orleans. Stewart sets, checks the runner, the 0-2. And that one's going to be swung on. Weak contact. Hal Hughes won't even have to move from his shortstop position, and he'll squeeze it for out number 3. But not before the Orleans Firebirds strike for 2 more runs. They have a 4-run lead, up 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. The Mariners will have the top of the order due up when we come back. You're listening and watching Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Mariners YouTube Network. Welcome back to White House Field. Tyler Henry, Colin Casey. Harwich Mariners are trailing at 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. And we haven't seen a Harwich comeback like this. They've only won 1 game where they've trailed at any point, and that was a game where they came back early against the Commodores of Falmouth. They were able to bounce back after getting down 1-0 early in that game. They scored a run in the 4th. But aside from that, Colin, they have never pulled something like this off. Now would be an excellent time to do it, though, and this would be the part of the order I would think that would do it, with Joey Weimer leading things off.
Boy, is it going to be a tall task against Dawson McCarville. 9 up, 9 down since entering the game back in the bottom of the 6th.
He is in line for one of those good old-fashioned 3+ inning saves. First pitch he throws to Weimer is going to be a called strike, up and away, a fastball that'll just catch that corner.
And in 2019, McCarville with Grand Canyon, he did have 1 save to go along with 3 complete games.
0-1 pitch. Weimer's going to take that hard, but right at second base. Soretti's going to be unable to get it out of his glove, though. And that's going to allow Weimer to reach. So how about that? Joey Weimer, you take him any way you can get him when it comes to base runners, and with nobody out, the Mariners have the speedster on first.
Yep, the first base runner against McCarville on a hard-hit ball, unable to cleanly get it is Soretti. So he can't come up with it. It's going to be an error on him in the first of the season for a relatively solid fielder in Danny Soretti.
Yeah, Soretti stayed in front of it, but at the end of the day, just couldn't squeeze it, kind of bobbled it around, and Daniel Cabrera will now hit one, but right at short, this could be 2. Stepping on second, throwing to first, and it's going to be the old 6-6-3 double play, courtesy of Murray doing it all by himself. Tanner Murray picks it up, steps on the bag, and throws to first. And just like that, the threat is over for the Mariners. Nobody on, 2 away.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more deflating than that, getting a crucial base runner trying to spark a comeback, then the next pitch just tailor-made double play ball and it was an easy one for Murray, just stepping on the bag and throwing on to Gill.
So the last hope is represented by Nico Cavadas, who will foul the first pitch that he sees off. Cavadas so far today is 1 for 3, base hit, a strikeout, and a flyout. Cavadas trying to keep the game alive here for the Mariners. He digs in, the 0-1 pitch from McCarville, and that'll miss low and inside to even the count at 1-1.
If this is indeed the final batter of the game, it looks like this game could be completed in under 2 hours.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the fastest 9-inning games that I've seen, as this one will miss high and inside. As we mentioned, Brewster's game today had a 30-minute head start on us, and that game is currently in the bottom of the 8th. So we've completely caught up to that game and have since surpassed it, as Cavadas will watch this one miss low and in. And the count's at 3-0, but not done yet. Still one more out left to use up for the Harwich Mariners. And with a 3-1 count, Dawson McCarville looks to put it away. Here it is, and that's going to be called a strike on the inside half to fill the count.
And that Brewster game now in the 9th, and Whitecaps with a 4-run lead, 6-2 over YD.
So Nico Cavadas stands in. Full count, 2 away, bottom 9. Here comes the pitch, and that one is going to be called strike 3, high and inside, and that will do it. Nico Cavadas down on strikes on a very close ball, up and in, but that will be the end of this one. The Orleans Firebirds get the win by a total of 5-1. We will come back after the break and put the cap on it. Thank you once again for tuning in. It's been Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Mariners YouTube Network. Welcome back one last time. The White House field. Tyler Henry alongside Colin Casey here to put the cap on it from White House, as the Harwich Mariners once again fall to below 500 by a final score of 5-1. So for the Orleans Firebirds, they will improve on the season to 8-4-2. The Mariners will fall to 7-8, and they won't have to wait very long to get their revenge, Colin, as first pitch is set for tomorrow once again at 5:30. This one will be at Orleans Place, as these two teams will meet again tomorrow for the second match of the series.
And of course the Mariners still looking for that first win against an Eastern Division team, with all 7 coming against the West. That's now 0-4. So they've really struggled against these Eastern Division teams, but the good news for them is there's plenty more to be played. And as we head into the months of July, it's going to be mostly made up of those games against Eastern teams. So still early. 7-8. Obviously, they wish that record would be a little bit better. But again, they're still in striking distance in the East. So not at all time to press the panic button here in Harwich.
Still very early in the season. Orleans today, 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, and 4 runners left on base. For the Mariners, they strand 3 runners in the first couple of innings, but after that don't strand any, just 3 left on base, 1 run on 5 hits, 1 error for them as well. The win goes to Owen Schartz. He improves to 1-0. The loss goes to Jacob Polish. He will fall in the season to 1-1, and the save is given to Dawson McCarville, his first of the year. Once again, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in to Harwich Mariners Baseball here on the Mariners YouTube Network, and catch us tomorrow. First pitch once again slated for 5:30 local time. That's Eastern time here on the Cape. That game will be played at Orleans. It'll be Mariners and Firebirds about 24 hours from this one. I'd like to say thank you once more for tuning in. Tyler Henry alongside Colin Casey, and we will see you tomorrow night.